Good afternoon and welcome to our gratitude gathering. Thank you all for joining us today virtually and some of you in person. Before we get started, I'd like to share a few thank yous. First off, thank you to CBI for allowing us to use your space today. Thank you so much, Joan Lipson, for helping plan this event. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Event Smart for all the technical support they're providing today. I'm going to start by introducing Rabbi Isaacs, who has a blessing to share with us, and whose wisdom and engagement has been a source of strength and comfort for the board and the leadership team of JFL during this challenging year. Rabbi?
Hi, everyone. We find ourselves in the middle of a very challenging time for Am Yisrael, for the Jewish people. Jerusalem and Israel are besieged by both physical threats and hostile world opinion and social media onslaught, while the broader Jewish community worldwide encounters a toxic surge in all kinds of vile anti-Semitism. While we applaud the heroic, unmatched efforts of the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, and the Iron Dome, as Jews, we need a spiritual response as well. Sha'alu Shalom Yerushalayim, it says in Tehillim 122, pray for the peace of Yerushalayim, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Don't take it for granted. The next verse specifies a detail of the prayer. May there be peace in your wall, serenity in your palaces. In his 19th century biblical commentary, Rabbi Meir Levush Wisser, known as the Malbim, explains that if the tribes living around Jerusalem, the tribes surrounding Jerusalem, the Jewish tribes, will only unite, and there will be no fights and disputes around its walls between one tribe and another, then there will be serenity in your inner palaces. Then you will be able to achieve broader peace. Our prayers for Israel's security and our own safety must be accompanied by a revolution to pursue peace between the different tribes, so to speak, of Am Yisrael. Sadly, even in Jerusalem itself, there are vicious disputes, sometimes even violent, between its Jewish factions, and it extends beyond as well. We must achieve greater internal peace for our prayers for peace from our haters and our enemies to be answered. During the past year of widespread financial crisis, Jewish Free Loan was empowered to help so many people from all parts of our Jewish community in the Valley. Thanks to the support of not only the entire community, but particularly our supporters and partners in the Jewish Community Foundation and the Jewish Federation, we have much gratitude that we have been enabled to help so many people to such an extent. The spirit of care and concern for our entire community that this all shows is exactly what we need during this difficult time. I'd like to conclude with a blessing and a big wish of Mazel Tov to my dear friend Tina Sheinbein on the award that she will soon receive. Tina is truly a class act in the professionalism, vision, and ruach that she has brought not only to Jewish Free Loan, but to our broader community and to Jewish Free Loan associations worldwide. We wish her much bracha v'hatzlacha, blessings and success in all of her future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. In the spirit of gratitude, I'd like to take a moment to express my thanks for the unwavering support we received from the friends and supporters of JFL this year. Your support made many things possible during a year that began with what seemed like impossible challenges. Most notably, you ensured that during a time of great need and uncertainty, the JFL could quickly and compassionately assist the many members of our community who were impacted by COVID-19 and life's ups and downs. I'm incredibly grateful for and humbled by the many acts of Gimilut Hasidim that I've witnessed this past year. And if there's anything the year has taught me, it is the power of caring and the power of community. And so, thank you for caring, and thank you for your lasting commitment to helping us fulfill our mission of transforming lives through interest free lending. The pandemic took hold a few months prior to Tina's retirement from the JFL last year. Sadly, we were not able to publicly honor and celebrate her because of the pandemic, so we'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge Tina's outstanding contributions to JFL during her 15 years of professional leadership. The JFL's uninterrupted ability to serve the community this past year would not have been possible without the strong foundation of community support, engagement, and awareness that Tina fostered during the 15 years she dedicated to the JFL, first as the Director of Development and Outreach, and later as our Executive Director. Tina's vision and leadership grew the JFL from a small lending organization to an organization that now has well over 500 interest free loans totaling $1.9 million circulating in our community, benefiting Jewish families and individuals. Tina was a key proponent in creating the Named Loan Program, the Named Loan Fund Program, which spans burial, education, medical, business, adoption funds, and more. She was also instrumental in growing the Legacy Society, of which she herself is also a member, so that the JFL can continue its mission of assisting people in need for generations to come. After retiring in June 2020, Tina became the part-time coordinator for the International Association of Jewish Free Loans, which I will refer to as IAJFL. Um, and in this role, she supports the efforts of IAJFL, a network of more than 50 free loan agencies serving communities around the world. It's testament to her leadership that our Phoenix JFL is viewed as a model by its peer organizations globally. On a more personal note, in the 10 years I've been involved with JFL, I cannot ever remember a time when Tina did not make herself available for a prospective borrower and do everything within her power to ensure that person was not left wanting or needing. Tina, I believe that was and still is your vision, set to our mission to always meet the needs of our community, one need at a time, one person at a time, every time. Tina, if you'd please come up. We'd like you to accept this menorah on behalf of the board in honor of your many foundational contributions to JFL. Thank you so much. Of course. I'll now welcome Ellie to provide us a JFL update.
Thank you, Aura. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ellie Friedman Sachs, the Executive Director of Jewish Free Loan, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to spend this time with all of you as we share some highlights from the past year, honor Tina Sheinbein for all the wonderful things she has done and continues to do for the community, recognize the impact of the Jewish Community Foundation and Jewish Federation, and simply say thank you. Thank you to the entire Jewish Free Loan community. It's hard to believe that we've almost completed another fiscal year. And like last year and all the years before it, it has truly been a year like no other. That's the beauty of Jewish Free Loan. The very nature of what we do means no 2 years, months, weeks, or days will ever look alike. The interest-free loans we provide are as unique as the people that come to us for financial assistance. And the way JFL operates ensures that each inquiry we vet, loan we approve, donor we meet, gift we receive, partnership we build, and friend we make gets the time and individual attention deserved. This year has been filled with many successes, challenges, and opportunities. With the support of our wonderfully dedicated board, staff, volunteers, donors, funders, and community partners, many of whom are joining us today, we work to help meet the financial needs of the local Jewish community. I wish there were time to thank and acknowledge everyone by name during this event, but unfortunately that isn't possible. I hope that you will visit the JFL website, particularly our 2021 annual meeting page, to review our leadership, our staff and donor lists, and learn even more about the past 12 months at JFL. This fiscal year, we distributed so far, it's not quite over yet, nearly $740,000 in interest-free loans for basic needs, emergency situations, IVF treatments, medical expenses, burial expenses, education, debt consolidation, and COVID relief. In addition to financial assistance, we distributed more than 100 food and gas cards, dozens of care bags, and connected dozens of households with Jewish Family and Children's Service. Our partnership with JFCS and relationship with Kathy Rude, who vets all of our emergency loan applicants, are vital to providing a continuum of care to people who come to Jewish Free Loan in distress. We are so grateful for our longtime collaboration, which continued to serve the community this year in such an important way. These past 14 months have been unlike any other for everyone. For JFL, this time saw the deployment of the community-wide disaster relief loan program, an unprecedented demand for emergency financial assistance as COVID-19 wreaked havoc on jobs and household budgets. Since March of 2020, we've distributed more than $227,000 in emergency and economic crisis loans and approved hundreds of thousands more in traditional loan categories to help alleviate financial stress in other areas. We would not have been able to respond as quickly and comprehensively to the needs of the community without our donors and without funders like the Jewish Community Foundation and Jewish Federation. These organizations have long supported the needs of the community and the programs and agencies who are dedicated to meeting those needs. When the impact of the pandemic hit Phoenix, the Foundation and Federation sprang into action, opening grant opportunities and quickly deploying funds into the community. We are very grateful for our decades-long partnerships with the Federation and Foundation and very appreciative of the support we have received from these organizations for both our traditional loan programs and efforts to provide COVID-related financial relief. I'm very happy that Rich Casper, CEO of the Jewish Community Foundation, and Marty Haberer, the CEO of the Jewish Federation, are here with us today. It's really nice to see them in person. It's been a while. So I'd like to ask Rich to join me at the podium, please. So Rich, here we have a piece of artwork that we've put together. I won't read it all, but here's a message to the Jewish Community Foundation of Greater Phoenix, and also a quote that we received directly from one of our borrowers who is a beneficiary of our emergency crisis response program. And it says, "This loan will change my life in the coming months. I can now stay safe and not worry about paying my bills. This loan will get me through the worst of COVID-19 and not make me choose between safety and food on the table." Thank you so much for enabling us to make this kind of difference in our community.
Thank you. Thank you, Ellie. When the Jewish Community Foundation makes grants to other organizations, we always have to be mindful of the fact that the money really is not ours. We own the funds in a strictly legal sense, but the money always belongs to the community. So when we make those grants, it's critically important that we choose the right partners. We have to have confidence in the organizations receiving the grants, confidence in their priorities, confidence in their leadership, and confidence in their ability to use the funds in the community's best interests. I've been working for the Jewish Community Foundation since 2013, but I became a part of the local Jewish community when I moved here 30 years ago. Back then, Jewish Free Loan was a nice, quiet little organization that was well regarded, but it was not particularly well known. In the decades since then, Jewish Free Loan has evolved and it has grown exponentially to become one of the most respected pillars of the local Jewish community. It has become one of the most trusted partners of the Jewish Community Foundation and one of the few we routinely turn to when Jewish Arizonans are facing critical needs. When we first began to sense the gravity of the pandemic, there was never any doubt that we would be working with Jewish Free Loan to help minimize the economic effects of the pandemic in our community. So, thank you to Jewish Free Loan for this recognition, but thank you also to Jewish Free Loan for being that trusted partner on which the Jewish Community Foundation can rely as a good steward for our funding and an invaluable resource to us all.
Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you. Okay, Marty. I'd like to welcome Marty Haberer, the Jewish Federation. And this is similar yet different. But here it's the acknowledgement of the Jewish Federation of Greater Phoenix. And down here the quote reads, "This loan helped me during a time when I needed financial support to take care of myself and my children after having been unexpectedly unemployed for several months due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It has been scary and stressful, and the team at JFL has been extremely kind and empathetic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to the Jewish Federation for your support in enabling us to make this kind of difference."
Thank you. And remarkable skill you have reading sideways.
One of my many talents that I don't put on my resume.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And, really at a moment like this, and this is an incredible moment, it's just, even just being here, the way we're being here with masks, without masks, live and not live, the world has changed. And Ellie made reference to the 14 months. It has been 14 months like no other in my life, and therefore I assume in most of your lives as well. And I usually would begin by saying something like, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zela Zeh. Each and every Jew is responsible one for the other, and we are. We came off, 14 months of a pandemic, only to then see a terrible, almost war in Israel, which thank God there's a ceasefire right now, and we have to stand with each other. But as I was sitting and listening, I'm also thinking of the credo of our country that sometimes doesn't get heard for long periods of time. And it's the idea of e pluribus unum, out of the many, the one. E pluribus unum, out of the many, the one. And when I think of this organization, Jewish Free Loan, when I think of all the organizations, when I think of Federation and when I think of the foundation, I think we come together to do something that we can only do together. And when we do it together, it's bigger than any of us. Fortunately, our federation was able to raise $200,000 specifically for COVID relief. And one of our biggest go-to organizations this year was Jewish Free Loan, because we knew how capable they are and how quick they are at getting that money out to those that were in need. So it's a tremendous, tremendous pleasure to work with such a reliable partner, such a trusted partner over so many years. And I know that we're going to continue to do many great things together for a long time to come. Thank you.
So good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to press the flesh.
I know. So good to see you. Okay. That was so nice to get to be with everyone who's here in person and with you today. Thank you again to everyone for joining us this afternoon and for your support of Jewish Free Loan. While none of us can predict what the year ahead will look like, we know for sure that because of people like you, we will be here to do whatever it takes to help meet our community's financial needs, and will continue to transform lives through interest-free lending for many years to come. Have a wonderful afternoon, and please enjoy the rest of today's program.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you, Marty. And thank you, Ellie. I want to thank you for your leadership this past year. I suspect it was not the year you thought you were signing up for as our new executive director, but you masterfully stewarded the organization through a difficult time, and we are so fortunate to have you at the helm. It's now my pleasure to present the President's Award. The President's Award recognizes an individual, organization, or institution that encourages Jewish continuity and reflects the values and principles of Jewish free loan. The awarded individual exemplifies service and leadership in enabling Jewish individuals and family to improve their lives and achieve greater stability with regard to their long-term well-being. If you think I've just described Tina Sheinbein, then you are correct. Tina is omnipresent in the Jewish community, and her influence can be found almost everywhere. She has worked within the Jewish community as an executive professional as well as a volunteer for over 40 years. Her professional experience includes the Phoenix Jewish Community Center, APAC, State of Israel Bonds, and the Jess Schwartz Jewish Community High School. Her volunteer activities include and have included President of Hillel Advisory Council, Women's Division Campaign Chair and President in Phoenix, Secretary and Treasurer of Jewish Federation of Greater Phoenix, Chair of National Committee of Leadership Development for CJF, and Member and Education Vice President of the UJA National Young Women's Leadership Cabinet. That list has left me breathless. Tina currently serves on the executive committee and is the immediate past president of the International Association of Jewish Free Loans, IAJFL. Tina has also mentored other women through Rabbi Alana Cantor's Women's Jewish Leadership Institute. And Tina was recognized in 2004 by BBYO as Outstanding Alumni and received the Leah Mata Young Leadership Award from the Phoenix Jewish Federation. Tina, your warm and generous spirit, love for Judaism, passion for Tikkun Olam, and leadership and devotion to our community has been and always will be an inspiration to all. It is now my honor, on behalf of JFL's Board of Directors, to present you with the President's Award, which is this magnificent tzedakah box.
I used to give that to other people. When I was told to prepare a few minutes of remarks for today's gratitude gathering, I sat down in front of my laptop, staring at the blank screen with no idea how to even get started. There's a long list of memories and many speeches that I wrote and delivered, but most of those speeches were for the benefit of the agency or the organization I was either a volunteer for or where I was working as a professional. It was a fundraising speech or a year-end review or promoting the services and programs of an organization. And although a long time ago, I was taught to simply say thank you when someone pays me a compliment, and not to say things like, oh, I didn't do that much, or it was nothing, or everyone helped and did everything else. It was probably why I had a challenge in finding the right words for today. I still have a hard time just saying thank you. I moved to Phoenix in 1960, and by 1963, I had been involved with the Jewish community. I found my passion early on for the Jewish community, and almost everything I have done as a volunteer or as a professional has been within the Jewish community. I would not have been able to accomplish anything I have done without the help, support, and mentoring of so many people over so many years. It started with my first boss at the JCC when I was 13 years old and I was a camp counselor. Then my BBYO regional director, followed by literally hundreds of other individuals since I was 13 years old. They taught me how to be a leader, how to fundraise, how to give a speech, how to provide inspiration, how to delegate and share responsibility. They shared the value and the importance of acknowledging those around me who worked hard to do their jobs. I learned from them how to mentor others, how to successfully present an opinion on an issue, winning on some issues, and learning how to graciously accept defeat. And I learned that even when there's defeat, if I learn something, then even defeat is a valuable experience and it is only a temporary moment. You pick yourself up and you move on. I learned the value of not just listening to someone, but to hear what they are saying. Respect is a magic word. Caring, compassion, concern, and commitment are important values. A personal note, a telephone call, or an email, and I guess today even a text, can impact someone more than we can know or imagine. I am known within the circle of my friends and family as the birthday and anniversary card queen. It was a tradition and value I think I learned from my dad, who, when he died, had 3 months worth of cards waiting to be mailed out. As I moved throughout the Jewish community, I knew that this is where I wanted to be. I was blessed to have the opportunity to not only give my time and financial resources, but I was also able to share my organizational skills, my ability to raise funds, to speak in public, be mentored, and to be a mentor. Along the way, I was fortunate to have the support of family and friends. There's a family story that we used to laugh about. Most little girls play dress up. They're being a mommy, they cooking in the kitchen, or other roles that they see their moms doing around their homes. My daughters would grab a purse, a pad of paper, and a pen or a pencil, and they would play going to a meeting. That's what I was spending my time doing when they were young. Each of them, in their own way, is involved in the Jewish community, and they understand the role that their Judaism plays in their lives and in our lives. We know that only a few Americans have been to Israel. We in the extended Sheinbein family set records in that category. The Jewish community, to me, extends around the globe. I was involved with the Soviet Jewry movement since the late 1960s, and Derwin and I even went to the former Soviet Union to visit with refuseniks in 1976. I've also traveled to Poland twice, in 1982 and in 1984, paying my respects at Auschwitz and Birkenau, as well as meeting with the Jewish communities of Warsaw and Krakow. The most significant moment happened in 2005 when Diana Hoyt gave my name to Selma Fiel, Executive Director of the Jewish Free Loan. They were looking for a part-time person to work on fundraising and outreach. I was interviewed on Thursday or Friday, and by Monday, we had reached an agreement and I began working 15 hours a week. And the rest, as they say, is history. I have had the opportunity to work with the most amazing board and staff as we built and expanded the program. I hope I served as a mentor, as a teacher. I hope my caring, commitment, concern, and compassion were examples to those I worked side by side with over the 15 years I was with Jewish Free Loan. I want to thank Ellie Friedman Sachs for taking the mantle of professional leadership and building and expanding JFL during this very challenging and difficult year. And thank you to Ora Zettler for selecting me and presenting me with the 2021 President's Award. To my family and friends, thank you for being my inspiration and my support. I must acknowledge my parents, my dad of blessed memory, and my mom, who at 95 managed to get COVID and survive. They are my role models and examples. And to my children, their spouses, and my grandchildren, Jennifer, Anthony, Abigail, Jacob, Julie, Jonah, Bailey, Aaron, Deborah, Adam, Stacy, Madison, and Jack, thank you for the many blessings you give me every day. I hope I have been your inspiration, your role model, and someone who has made you proud. And of course, my partner throughout almost all of this journey, I've known him now for 54 years. To Erwin, I simply say thank you and I love you. In the Talmud, it says, every blade of grass has an angel that bends over it and whispers, grow, grow. This teaching is one that provides inspiration when I get mirrored down in the petty issues of everyday life. It reminds me that I may be small like an individual blade of grass, but I have a unique purpose in this world, and I have my own angel encouraging me to reach my potential. Thank you for honoring me for my years of service and commitment to the Jewish community, for reminding me that an individual blade of grass can have an impact and make a difference. I am humbled and I am honored. Thank you.
Once again, on behalf of everyone at Jewish Free Loan, Tina, thank you so much for your dedication and service to this community. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessie Lynn Herschel, and I am Jewish Free Loan's Marketing and Communications Manager. It is my pleasure to introduce our musical performers for this afternoon, Leah Wasbatten and John Dorsey, who will be coming up as Leah shares a bit of her own Jewish Free Loan story, and John serves as an accompanist for her performance.
Hello, everybody. First, I am just so humbled and honored to have been asked to perform and share a musical offering for this amazing event today. We're just going to start with a song arranged by Naomi Les called Elohai. This is a prayer that I just feel is so crucial for right now about breath and purity of the soul. So please enjoy. Elohai neshama shenatatabi shenatatabi Elohai neshama tohorai tohorai let it in, let it out. You can't keep the breath inside you or go without. You can't fake what you see, 'cause you know it isn't different what's inside of me. I can breathe free. Elohai neshama shenatatabi shenatatabi Elohai neshama tehorai tehorai, breathe it in, breathe it out. All the noise can make me forget what I'm all about. Breathe it in, breathe it deep inside. And I'm grateful for this moment that I'm alive. I can breathe free. Elohai neshama shenatatabi shenatatabi Elohai neshama tehorai tehorai Elohai neshama shenatatabi
Shana Tata Bi Elohai Neshama Tehorai Tehorai.
So just a little bit of background about myself. I am a borrower and a very humbled recipient of a couple of loans to help me with my student financial services over the past few years. So as you can see, I'm a musician and a singer. Being in school and being a musician is very challenging because I'm a freelancer and I teach on the side, but as far as making enough income to provide for myself, to pay for my schooling is a definite challenge for this profession and this career. So being a recipient for my master's of music, I got a little bit of a scholarship for that, but to be able to afford the rest of my tuition for that, I was so grateful for JFL to give me the finances necessary so that I can keep expanding my resume and expanding my professional development without having the burden of how do I pay for all of this while still making my resume be more full. So my first scholarship was back in 2017 for my master's of music. I was able to concentrate on school and give my 100% to school and to performing throughout the valley with freelance musical work. I was able to get a 4.0 in this program, which is just such a blessing to be able to concentrate on your schooling so much, especially at that level. And I was also able to expand my private voice studio while I was getting my master's, but without having to work myself to the brink of exhaustion. I also was able to secure my first college teaching position right after I graduated with my master's, which is still part-time, but still very crucial for my career development and starting my career that way. I just began my doctorate of musical arts at ASU back in August of 2020, and I was still able to work at this community college and perform locally, but the performances were a lot less because of COVID. So getting more financial help from JFL to be able to pay for my tuition and also live more comfortably, so again, I didn't have to burn out over my doctorate this past year, has been just such a blessing. Something else that I just love about being a recipient is the encouragement of the Tikkun Olam project, where any recipient, I think it might be student loans or all loans, we have to do a Tikkun Olam project, helping the community, helping the valley in whatever way we can. So I was able to bring that back into perspective rather than just work, work, work. I was able to have time to volunteer. So my private students and I have been able to put on some recitals, some virtual recitals recently for some local retirement communities and dementia and Alzheimer's facilities around the valley. So just being able to breathe instead of work, 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 and to be able to volunteer has been such a blessing for me for the past few years. So with this last song, I just wanted to say thank you again for the generosity and the kindness from everybody. This is such a blessing to me as a student and a working professional, as well as so many other people. So thank you for your kindness and generosity. We're going to end with Kind and Generous by Natalie Merchant.
La 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 la. La 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 la. You have been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. And I never could have come this far without you. For everything you have done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 la. Oh, I want to thank you for so many gifts you gave, the love, the tenderness. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity, the love and the honesty that you gave me. Oh, I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love, and my respect for you. I want to thank you. Oh, I want to thank you, 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 thank you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah, for sharing your story and gracing us with your beautiful and heartfelt performance. We wish you all the best in your studies and your future musical pursuits. And this concludes our event. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for honoring Tina. And we wish you a very happy, healthy, and peaceful summer surrounded by your family and friends.